Just because you want to be prepared, just in case, does not mean that you can't live in comfort if you have the opportunity to. Now, I personally chose Kodiak Canvas for the canvas tent product that I wanted to use after years of doing research for the best and as well as most affordable option. And when I say best, I mean highest quality you can possibly get on a reasonable budget. Just to be upfront, this setup is not the type of tent that you would put in your bug out bag and hope to use in an emergency situation. The entire setup, if you were to try to put it in a backpack, weighs more than the average human. So this is for a base camp all year long 4-season setup. With that in mind, you're going to want to find a piece of land that is yours that you can get this set up on before you ever build your homestead, and gives you the peace of mind of knowing when you've got to leave the city, you've already got a place to go and it's already set up for you. Now, you can choose to do something like this if you would like as well, but probably the very first thing I purchased before I got this set up were remote solar powered cameras, security cameras, to be able to kind of give myself that peace of mind of when I'm not physically there, that I can log on and see at any given time what's going on at camp. I'll put a link to these in the description below the video. I thought they were affordable when I bought them, but they've even gone down in price since then. I'm probably going to buy more. I'm that impressed. Now that you have the land to put it on, you're going to want to choose a spot to actually set the tent at. I chose this spot because it's completely blocked from the wind on the west and the east and the south from the natural trees, as well as partially from the north by that large fluffy juniper you see there. Now, if you're super particular like me, you're going to want to stake out where the tent's going to sit, figure out what your elevations are, and create a nice level spot for the tent setup. With that in mind, I particularly chose to have a very slight grade to allow for water runoff in the event of a catastrophe. Now, you certainly would not have to, because the Kodiak tent comes with an incredibly hardcore rubberized flooring, but I chose to go ahead and lay a ground tarp just as an added measure to keep condensation, moisture, etc. from somehow getting into the tent. If you've ever set up a large tent before, the setup is pretty basic. It really wasn't that difficult. And then there is that rubberized floor that I had mentioned that the tent has. And even though it has that strong rubberized floor, I still chose to put a roll of outdoor carpet down before I laid any wood as an extra protective barrier. Now, I utilized 1" by 3" studs essentially, and 23 32" thick OSB plywood. And I chose that because it's really meant for outdoor type surfaces like a roof, as an example. And I knew it would better stand up to time and the elements than a sanded, finished, fancy plywood base. Now, what I also did when I laid the plywood down is custom cut it to where I have 1" on all sides of open space between the canvas and the wood to avoid any ripping or tearing of the canvas fabric. After that, I rolled in the actual indoor carpet and had it all nice and perfectly fit, and then put the porcelain tile right where the wood stove is going to be. Now, I went ahead and chose porcelain because it's kiln fired at temperatures that far exceed what the wood stove will put out. I then set up the awning that's specifically made for the cabin lodge tent. And essentially you start with the roof and ultimately get that all set up and then put on the sides. Now this does not have a floor, so I did put a ground tarp down and then laid outdoor carpet. And essentially I did that so I could rub off mud and all that and not have to worry about it getting wet. The awning ends up working out fantastic for a cooking area, storage of coolers, etc. And during the harsher weather environments, a place to wipe your feet before you walk into the main unit with the indoor carpet. Because once I do step inside the way that I have mine set up, it's extremely nice and comfortable, complete with the wood stove setup with a burn indicator that essentially allows me to make sure I'm burning at the right temperatures, and it is so nice. Can't even begin to tell you how nice and cozy it is. I hope that you liked this video. Stay tuned to this channel for more information and some more fun.